Hello guys, welcome back. Sethornan here. This is the Daily Grind and this is what you have been asking and waiting for, the Poseidon showcase video. Poseidon was the first grade SS card released for the game. Originally in the Chinese server, they released Aiolos, they released Doko, Xion, Nebula Storm, Shun, not in that order, Canon, Arayashiki, Krisa or Krishna, and the rest of the marine generals. And starting the new year, starting 2019 in January, we got Poseidon on his own banner. He had his own event. The difference between gtarcade management and the original Chinese server is very, very different. There was no shenanigans that it's a limited card, you only have this week to get him. He got a week-long banner just like everybody else, and after the week finished, he was added to the normal summoning pool. So you always had a chance to get Poseidon. The thing is, grade SS cards have like half of 1% chance of dropping. They have a ridiculous low chance of getting, so it doesn't matter if they get double chance, it's going to be hell to get this guy on his featured banner. So you're probably going to do what everybody else did and just get him through shard collecting, through the Legion, get into a good Legion that has an exchange system in place. The game doesn't have that really. You have to go outside the game, talk in the chat, talk in WhatsApp, in Discord, whatever your Legion has set up for discussing things outside of the game. That's where you're going to be getting your shards if you're one of the unlucky ones. I have seen people recommending 500 summoning stars to guarantee, quote unquote, getting him. That's not going to work. S cards have a normal drop rate of 3.6%. So when you get a banner for an S card, you actually have a 7.2% chance of getting an S card, the featured character of that banner. When you are pursuing a grade SS card like Poseidon or Hades, you're going to have to be insanely lucky to get him, because his double chance is like 0.64% of actually dropping during the event. And that's if gtarcade, I'm not trying to be negative, I'm just giving you the odds as they are listed on the Tencent official webpage. By law, they have to disclose these numbers, and the rate is around that 0.64% for the drop of a grade SS card. That's it. Now that you know what you're getting into, let's go into Poseidon skills. I had to actually make notes. Like I told you, he was the first god to be released, and he introduced several new mechanics into the game. For starters, all of his skills have two subsets, and they work like this. This is the power of the ocean, and by using this 3 times, you shoot out a wave towards the enemy that is going to enchant Poseidon with a 1% reflect damage at level 1, and this increases up to reflect damage 5% of the damage he receives. Now, when you upgrade this skill to level 2, you unlock a combination called Vortex. Vortex increases the defense. It calls kind of a little demon that stands next to Poseidon, And what that demon does, a water demon, is that's going to increase 30% deflection of damage for the character. And when you upgrade the skill to level 3, it's going to have a shell thing. It's called hard shell. And that is appears on the screen like a claw behind the enemy you cast this on. And after that enemy deals damage, the demon is going to crush him. Oh, right. Vortex reduces 30% the defense of the enemy you cast it on. And Shell is going to cast the claw that after the enemy performs an action that deals damage to anybody on your team, it's going to crush them with 270% cosmic damage. Now, the basic skill, because Poseidon doesn't have a basic skill, all of his skills are basics if you use them 3 times. All of his skills always do 160% of cosmic damage, but the effect of each skill is different. Now, the Blizzard increases your hit stat permanently by 2% at the skill level 1. When you upgrade the Blizzard to level 2, it gives you the crystal armor that is going to reflect damage towards the enemy. And when you upgrade this to level 3, it's going to give you a skill that is called Seeth, that is going to counter-strike the opponents, and it has a chance of reducing their speed by a set percentage of 30%. And the hit stat increases to 5% at level 4 and 8% extra hit stat at skill level 5. So that's after 24 blue books, you get a hit stat increase of 8% whenever you use this. Now, the third skill is the electric storm, and that increases your final damage by 1%. When you upgrade this to level 2, it unlocks the chain lightning skill. It's going to attack the enemy for 260% cosmic damage up to 5 times at random. And after you upgrade this to level 3, it's going to give you the ice storm. Why it is on the thunder and lightning, it's beyond me, but that's the name of the skill. At level 3, you unlock the ice storm, and this strikes the opponent 3 times, doing 60% cosmic damage, and it has a percentage plus hit stat chance of freezing the opponent. Alright, that's just his basic attacks. None of these use energy, and it's pretty fun to use. I'm going to show you later on how this works. And for the last thing, that's his passive. It's the power of the ocean. No, the wheel of the ocean. Sorry. The wheel of the ocean allows Poseidon to stack all of the bonuses from his previous basic skills up to 3 times. So when this passive is level 1, if you use each of the skill once, you get one of each. You can get one of each up to 3 times. But when you level this up to level 5, you can stack each upgrade up to 10 times. And here's the kicker. He has a special secret skill where if you combine the powers of the ocean, the blizzard, and the thunder strike, you call on the will of the ocean and cast the tidal wave that you have seen in so many videos. And what the tidal wave does is that besides being an AoE attack that hits for 180% Cosmo attack, you cannot upgrade that, by the way. But the funny effect, and this is what makes Poseidon broken in reality, it gives whatever you have stacked as bonuses to the whole team. So let's say you already have 10 stacks of reflect damage, since that tops out when Poseidon is level 5 in all his skills, and that's the reason he doesn't work unless he has at least level 4 in all skills. That's 50% reflect damage, that's 100% hit stat, and it increases his final damage 4 plus times 10, 40% extra cosmic damage for all of his moves after the tidal wave, if you manage to get the stacks beforehand. So the longer, just like the anime, the longer the fight goes on, Poseidon becomes more and more powerful until he gets out of hand real quick. Now, that's a nasty amount of blue books, but it's very, very worth the wait. That's why at one time somebody was asking, which one is more worth your time, Hades or Poseidon? Well, if you're really going to go ham on both, Hades is stupidly powerful, and you can use him for casual PvP at just skill level 1. You can use Poseidon too for casual PvP, but to truly unlock his full potential, you have to have these skills at level 3, the first 3 at least, to level 3, before you can say he's usable. Because before that, yeah, he's kind of overpowered, because he still gives a lot of bonuses, like an extra 3% reflect damage. That's a lot. A hit stat of 6%, it's not bad, and an extra 3% cosmic damage on top of whatever you can equip him with is wonderful. And there's his 8 cents that is a pain in the butt to unlock, because you need at least 2 skills at level 2 to fully get this, and friendship at level 4. So there's that. So okay, let's go into showcase mode, and let's do some of his training hold first, so you get the actual skills. Let's do one of the later ones, so I have some kind of survivability. Ugh, this is super tough. Okay, so let's try this. Let's just get killed a lot. So this is how Poseidon works. You don't use energy unless you try for the tidal wave. But here's the thing. You combine each type of skill once and you get the first effect. Like this one is just the wave for 160% cosmic damage, and that's going to increase my reflect damage by a percentage. But if I use the blizzard, that increases my hit stat. All of these skills hit for 160%. But if I use 3 times the lightning, I get the thunder strike, and that increases my final damage by a percentage, 5% in this case, I believe. Yeah. And the rest of the powers you get by combining This one is the vortex. Doesn't matter the order, but if you combine two waves with one chain lightning, you get the shell. This is the one where it counters. There you go. That's the skill. So I get two of these. Let me out. So I'm gonna try another mission that is not so easily finished or lost. I'm going to make the video for this training hall, but I need to go get my notes that my friend Yokaro gave me for that mission in particular, because it's very hard to pass if you don't know what you're doing. So that's the gist of the thing. You have to combine this. Okay, so those were the power of the ocean, but the crystal also has, this is the armor, the crystal armor. You can only protect two of your characters at the same time. You have to click on this. Cannot be put on Poseidon. He cannot self-protect. And this other one is the seed. And like so, if you use two lightning and one power of the ocean, that's the chain lightning. And let's repeat that again. So the double turn on Poseidon. And let's check the other one. The crystal armor first. You can put on a friendly. And this is the ice storm. But that gets us killed. And let's showcase the last power. That is the tidal wave. The reason this is the skill that you see more often in PvP videos and such is because it's the only one that you're going to get when your skills are or level 1. The only extra skill you're going to get besides his 3 basics is the tidal wave. And as you can see, I have shared all my bonuses. That's one type of each with my teammates, but I don't have energy anymore to cast anything else except this one. And that's pretty much Poseidon for all of you. So let's go into the training hall again, because it's fun. And you're going to see just the tidal wave because that's all I have, and his basics. So here's Poseidon. And let's use Death Mask. Poseidon can pretty much be slotted in any kind of team because he's going to be your pivot. Pretty much. So let's wait a bit on this and try, for example, lightning is gonna give me 3 stacks of extra cosmic damage for the next round. And let's use this. And for example, if I try to use the extra skills, it's locked because I need at least level 2 on this to use them. So let's try the Blizzard next. And now I get 3 stacks of hit chance. On how you should build your Poseidon if you ever get him, you have to start with his basic skills first. First, all of them to level 2, so you get 3 extra skills to use because it's a combination. If you unlock level 2 on the power of the ocean, you're only going to have the armor. So let's change. Oh, damn it. Well, I'm gonna have to lose on purpose. I want to change Iki out because it doesn't allow me to actually showcase Poseidon. Okay, so ready on the change button. And you can run both gods at the same time, but it's a bit overkill if you ask me. So let's try Shura. Like this, and let's start with the tidal wave then. So you see everybody got a bonus. And each of the symbols over the enemy's head means they are more vulnerable to the remaining powers. Now I have reflect damage on. And there's another tidal wave coming, and that's why you see a spam of this. Because if you only have one level of the skill, as you can see, I have already increased the counters on my team. And like I told you, once you bring your first 3 skills to level 3, then you have to start working on his passive. And the minimum viable quote unquote skill level for Poseidon is 4-4-4-4. Doesn't matter what order. You can go for the defensive one first, but a lot of people prefer to use the electric side of the skill tree because it's more offensive and it's very, very powerful. But this one is no slouch either. And to be quite frank, all of his skills are good. And once you build him to level 80 and you have the proper Cosmos setup, his perfect setup involves having one substat of Cosmo attack, one substat of Cosmo damage, because he doesn't really need a lot of Cosmo attack, because he can increase that through the use of his other skills. So if you want more heal stat, you only use the blizzards. If you want more attacking power, that's one of the reasons people prefer to start developing the Thunder Strike. It gives you extra cosmic damage. And if you maximize that, for example, even if you don't have access to the first and second skill, you can just work on the Thunder Strike set of skills and work on the passive, so you can stack more of that. And that's 4% final cosmic damage for per stack of cosmic of Thunder Strike. And if you upgrade that to 8 stacks, that's 32% free cosmic damage. A lot of people also favor a Kiki Luna Poseidon setup because it's very, very effective from round 1. Of course, if you get your Luna or your Kiki banned, then you're SOL, but that's the thing with Galaxy Duel. So for Ymir, it's very different. Like you're going to try to stack as much defensive, as much of a defensive setup you can to protect Poseidon, and he's going to be the pivot for your skills. For your team skills, he's going to be the setup, because when you have the passive developed, you can start stacking bonuses for your whole team at the same time. Like you're just spamming the tidal wave over and over as much as possible and trying to keep Poseidon alive. And even if it's just a 1%, if you can stack 10 of those, 10% extra hit stat, 10% reflect damage on the whole team, and that's a 10% extra cosmic damage for your team. That if your teammates are physical damage, then it converts to extra physical attack. It setups depending on who your teammates are. So he can go with anybody, and he's going to make those teams work. So that's the Poseidon showcase. If you have any more dubs, I'm gonna keep working on him. So if you want to see him at high level, I'm gonna have him ready. So that is going to depend on whether or not I get Athena on Wednesday, because I'm stacking resources so I can do either one. Like I have 9 million experience right now, so I'm gonna keep farming in 8 cents material and stuff like that in blue books, because it looks like Athena is also going to be blue book heavy. Currently I only have 2, but that's going to change in the week. We get many more blue books here at the Chinese server. So that's that for the Poseidon showcase. If you have any doubts, any comments, Any questions about the game or the character? Leave them in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video if you like the video, and thank you again all for watching. Remember, if we reach 1,000 subscribers before Wednesday 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, then the summoning video is going to be showcased in this channel for the Athena banner. She is coming, and she is near. There was an announcement over here. Well, anyways, right now it reads 3 days for Athena. So let's see what happens. So thank you all for watching, and remember, we'll be seeing each other the next time. In the meantime, keep grinding on.